I asked 8-year-old Ayla recently if she wanted to sing with me The Drummer Boy, and she didn't remember what it was, and she actually thought when she did remember that it was boring. Come, they told me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. So that carol depicts this little boy playing his drum for the newborn king as he brings what he has in his hands to offer as a gift. And all through the song we sing the lyrics that sound like the drums, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. It's one of my favorite Christmas carols, and it was originally titled Carol of the Drums. It's believed to have been penned by Catherine Davis in 1941. There's really no other carol like it in lyric and beat and message. It's one of humility. The little boy has nothing to bring the king but the drums in his hands that he can play, and he gets a nod from Mary as he plays. The word drum isn't really mentioned in the Bible, but the word timbrel is. The word drum wasn't even around until 1540. But a timbrel, that we might know it, is like a hand drum with tiny cymbals, kind of like a tambourine. The book of Psalms mentions timbrels many times. Chapter 81, raise a song, strike a timbrel. This sound of cadence makes a sound of praise even better. Psalm 149 says, let them sing praises with timbrel and lyre. And Psalm 150 says, praise him with the cymbals, loud ones. Perhaps one of the most memorable stories is in Exodus when Miriam danced with timbrel in her hand, and this led a celebration of joy. The beats produced by the drums have a special rhythmic effect that stimulates the human mind and stirs human emotions deeply. There's also scientific evidence of how the instrument impacts the brain positively. But isn't it interesting that this loud and joyful instrument that requires shaking and banging and hitting was used in the drummer boy to represent humility as he arrived on the scene to behold Jesus? Have you ever given or received a set of drums to your kids, or when you were a kid? They bring the most delight to the kid and the most frustration to the parent, right? We want them to play, but we want them to play in the garage where we cannot hear them or where the neighbors aren't disturbed. And have you ever watched the drummer in an ensemble? He's often the most interesting person in the group as he amazingly controls his hands and feet at the same time to produce rhythm, beat, and cadence, and the timing and crashes at exactly the right time. In fact, without a drummer, it's hard for a group to sing very well. This little drummer boy obviously is playing well because we can sing with his rhythm and imagine his walk in cadence with the beat. He's not banging to bring notice to himself. He's not banging to be heard above everyone. He's not banging out of frustration, but it says he's playing. It's what he knows, it's what he carries, and he's humbly walking and bringing it to present to the king. Look at his question, shall I play for you, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, on my drum? So the sound of drums for this Devo is the sound of playing before the king what he's placed in our hands. I don't play drums, but I can write, and maybe you don't play drums either, but you can cook, or you handle money well, or you serve others cheerfully, or you pray fervently. We all have gifts that cause our feet to walk in rhythm as our hands play out the gifts we've been given. And it pleases him so much if we play succinctly, cheerfully, and humbly in service to others, which is actually servicing him. Drums and humility. Kind of a hard picture to grasp. Often the drummer is the loudest and the one that brings most attention to himself. However, a skilled drummer that plays for him brings a crowd to its feet in exploding praise when the skill set begins to transform into worship. Have you ever experienced that? I have. It's not then that the drummer is being seen, but rather the amazing glory that has just been ushered in by the hands of one that chose to play for the pleasure of the king, the sound of the drum.